Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for the week of November 20th to 26th, 2023. This is a reading for you if you are an Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising, or have other significant Aquarius in your chart. This is a reading for the November 20th to 26th, 2023. However, if you are watching this at another time, if the title of this video grabbed you, then there is a message for you in this video, so definitely watch it through to the end. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for coming to watch my videos. I hope that this is helpful to you. And if you like this channel, please do hit the like button and subscribe. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's good to have you back again to this channel. And in all cases, like, subscribe, and also comment, please. If you have anything that, if you can have any input or insight on how this reading has turned out for you, then I'm always glad to hear that. Okay, now this is what I do in these readings is I start with the cartouche cards, which is an Egyptian system, and I clarify them with tarot, and in this case we are using the Osho Zen Tarot. I've laid the cards out in advance just to save a little time and meditated on what you, Aquarius, need to know for this week. So let's begin at the beginning. This is Aries energy. Aries has to do with your personality, how you present yourself to the world, your own self-care. Okay, now Osiris in the first house always means rely on your own judgment. Your judgment is sound. And interestingly, you have it with the Master card. Now, the Master card is unique to the Osho Zen Tarot. And what it is it has to do with the influence of a guru. So this indicates either somebody who is a mentor, a spirit guide, somebody who is trying to teach you something about yourself, okay? Or teaching you how to trust in yourself. So if you've been having a lot of lessons lately or feeling a lot of self-doubt or being challenged in a lot of ways, this may be sort of this, whether it's an inner guru or an outer one, there's somebody who is, there's definitely this sense of challenging you to come into your own power and trust yourself here, okay? Second house has to do with Taurus energy. This has to do with finances. And yeah, you could be having some financial, Sirius isn't so much difficulties. It's more like there could be some challenges. There are challenges that are surmountable, okay? There's different levels of blocks or obstacles or difficulties in these houses. And the Sirius card indicates that there's work to be done. There may be, something to be endured. Maybe there's some debts to be paid or something. But you're not in a situation that's an impossible one. You may even need to think outside the box a little bit. This is Aquarius, and this is actually Aquarian energy here. So this is about being innovative, about thinking about something differently in terms of your finances. And you have it with the Knight of Cups here, which is the Trust card, okay? This is about taking a leap of faith. So for some of you, maybe you're, looking to make some new financial decisions. Maybe you're thinking about a new job, you're Aquarius. You might be thinking about an unconventional kind of a job or doing something that's a little outside the box here. And yeah, this is definitely would be telling you to go for it. Like, look at something differently, take a broader perspective, and trust that everything's going to come out okay with your money, okay? So I feel like that might have been a worry for you, but it's not anything that you cannot handle. Third house is Gemini energy, and this has to do with communications, sometimes with siblings or community situations. Sometimes if you are self-employed, this could have to do with your business. Okay, so we've got the Twins card, which is Gemini, with the Understanding card, which is the, I want to say that is the Page of Cups. So this is about, okay, the Understanding card says you have always been free, okay? There's this bird that thinks it's trapped in this cage, but the cage is open and you can fly out. There's a situation where you think, and it could have to do with a business, it could have to do just generally with messages. Again, could have to do with family members. See how it resonates. And this does seem to involve another person or a communication from another person or perhaps a business partnership or something like that. But it's telling you that whatever kind of message is coming in, it's definitely pointing to the fact, there's this suggestion here that you are free. So I don't know whether this person's communication is going to remind you of this fact, or whether something that somebody says that perhaps makes you feel hemmed in, this is reminding you that you are free. So take that as it resonates. And again, not sure whether this is a business situation, not sure whether it has to do with a sibling. or if it just a message you have received that involves another person more generally than that. Fourth house, Cancer energy. Cancer has to do with your home, your family, and potentially with your mother, and also with your own sense of security and how you see things. And okay, we have the Crook and Flail with the Totality card. So yeah, there seems to be some kind of a situation that is taking up a lot of your attention related to your home or your family. There could be a legal matter and involved here. I don't know. Again, it depends. If there's not a legal matter, there may just be a question of the rightness of something, or whether or not you are in the right about something, and this would be saying that you are. I mean, if we go back to the first house and trust your own judgment. But this is the Five of Wands, so sometimes this can indicate a quarrel that's going on. Even though in this particular deck, it's showing like the trapeze artists, like two people working together, and being totally focused. I think that that is a sort of good piece of advice here, especially when you're dealing with competitive situations. But I feel like it's like there's some kind of a situation. I don't know. I feel like this is a family situation for some people. This card tends to be about authority. It's about confidence, self-discipline. Again, being in the right or having justice in a legal sense, or having increased visibility. I don't know. But all of this, I mean, it could relate specifically to your home and where you're living, especially maybe if you're having an issue with a landlord or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like this could be a family quarrel in which you need to stay focused and you need to be firm in the rightness of what it is that you're doing, okay? And again, if there is a legal matter, it does seem like it's going to turn out in your favor. Fifth house is Leo energy, and this is about creativity, also potentially love affairs and children. And okay, so you have Pyramid here. There's something going on here that's going, excuse me, that's going to take some time, that will be resolved in time. It's like an initiation or a test period. You're starting out in something. You could be beginning a new project. For some of you, this could be about a test situation involving a love affair or even a child. But again, take it as it resonates. But Pyramid here is definitely about a situation there where there's something's going to take some time. It's not going to happen right away, and you may just still be feeling your way out. And it does promise good news in the end. And you have it with the guidance card, the Three of Rainbows, which in traditional decks has to do with building a foundation. It's Three of Pentacles, like working with others on something, on some kind of a project. But here it has to do with relying on your inner guidance, or again, perhaps on spirit guides. And it's interesting that that shows up, especially since we have the Guru card here, the Master card in House 1. I feel like there's very strong guidance on something that you're doing here that could be connected to a child, could be connected to a lover, or some kind of project that you're embarking in. Something that's new here, some test situation where you need to rely on that inner guidance, which is there and available to you. There are, and again, I feel like this is more of an internal voice, but for those of you who believe in spirit guides, it could be that as well. Sixth house has to do with your health, okay? And you have the Four of Clouds here, which is the same as the Four of Swords. So there could have been a time that's needed for healing. Postponement is about having to delay things or about having to hang back. Now, it can be health. It can have to be with work, okay? This could have to do with a work situation, something you consider your job, but not necessarily your career per se. I mean, it could be both, but there's definitely a sense of worry and a sense that you've been delaying something. Now, you have it with Bastet. So if we're talking about physical health, and again, just be clear, I'm not making any medical diagnoses with these readings, but this is a health house, and this card tends to come up when our mind is affecting our body, okay? It's almost like psychosomatic illness, where we may find ourselves, like we may be waking up and finding, we eat and our stomach's bothering us a lot or something, or we get headaches a lot or something. And ultimately, it's not necessarily that there's anything particularly wrong other than that we are more stressed out than we think we are. And this card would be suggesting it may be time to step back, to take a break, to postpone something. I mean, postponement generally indicates, you could see this is this grayish woman not really seeing the colorful landscape over here. So it may be saying, hey, you might be postponing a really great thing that's about to happen for you. But I don't know. I always feel that this card requires a modicum of healing, and this feels more like it's mental healing rather than physical, okay? Or that there's a stressful condition that is certainly, potentially making you not feel so good physically. So Yeah, so I think there's a need for a little bit of a timeout and a de-stress for you, mentioned there. Okay, seventh house is Libra energy. This has to do with partnerships. This could be legal partnerships, could be a spouse if you're married. It could be a business partnership. It can be any other kind of significant partnership that may have a legal, part to it. Where there may be some legal arrangement involved. Okay, so you have the Three of Wands, or Three of Fire, which is experiencing. Okay, so this is about, this is interesting because traditionally the Three of Wands, again, is about collaboration, just as we have this Three of Pentacles over here. This generally indicates a situation where you may be collaborating or there may be a third party involved. I don't know. I feel like this is more business than love, though. Like, I feel like there's just somebody else who may be coming into the mix to a business arrangement. And it's, but normally this is in order to expand your horizons, in order to make something better. So you could have a spouse who is reaching out and collaborating with somebody else or bringing something in, or if you have, like I said, if you have a business partnership, this could be about a collaboration. But you have it with Lotus. So again, there's this idea here that there may be some stress about a particular situation, about a particular partnership. And again, this promises a kind of a peaceful continuity. But there's definitely a sense of kind of looking outside of a current situation. When this card of experiencing, what you have here is you have a woman who's like hugging a tree and just experiencing what it's like to be connected to the tree. So in this deck, the Three of Fire has to do with the way in which we connect to the outside world, okay, in which we allow ourselves to experience it and not cut ourselves off. So if you're looking for love, this is certainly saying get out there and let yourself experience relationship. Don't just try to look at it from a cerebral or detached kind of a perspective. Don't get caught up in your worries here. And again, if this has to do with the marriage, again, it could be that, maybe things have happened that you feel there's some disconnect between you and your partner, or, something going on where you really feel like you need to kind of like get in touch and experience. And again, this idea of de-stressing about something here. Yeah, and then in the 8th house, which is Scorpio, your house of transformation, you have fire with letting go, which is the 8 of Cups. So there's something you definitely need to walk away from. You need to purge it out of your life. You need to look at what needs to be burned up, and also where your true passion is. This indicates that there's definitely something that you've been hanging on to for a long time now, and it is really time to go, to get away from it, and to use this, like almost Phoenix-like. You want to use this fire to reinvent yourself in some way and get rid of what is toxic in your energy and in your life. 9th house is Sagittarius energy, and this has to do with expanding your horizons. It can have to do with long-distance travel. It can have to do with going back to school. It can have to do with something to do with religion, philosophy, organizations that are connected to that. And you've got the Abundance card, which is the King of Pentacles with the winged disc. So for some people, this could have to do with a long journey. It could have to do with going back to school for some reason, or having to do with a school, or just something of a spiritual nature where there's money to be had, where this is a very strong business card. The person on this card, they often refer to as Zorba the Buddha. So it's the idea of the person who is the sensualist, but who is also the spiritual person at the same time, someone who's merging those two qualities, and that this is what is required for a full abundance and full experience of life. So again, on the more basic level, if you're not making those kinds of changes, this could just have to do with you, whatever side of life you've been neglecting, it's telling you to embrace. And regardless of what's going on there, this indicates something that's going to be very successful. But I feel for some people, this literally may be about some kind of spiritual / sensual thing. And I don't mean like people's conceptions of Tantra or anything like that, which are usually kind of weird. But just the idea of marrying spirituality with enjoyment and that kind of a thing. There's this expansive feeling, and this idea of success, perhaps through this kind of more balanced perspective here. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn, and this has to do with your career, your fame, and your reputation. Okay, Buckle of Isis, yeah, again, there's this sense here of giving something up. giving something up to get something better. And this, okay, we have the friendship card here, the Two of Cups. This has to do with partnering with somebody. Now, in some cases, it could be partnering with a spouse or a loved one. But generally speaking, I feel like this is just, this could be a business partnership. This could be somebody who's a good friend who you end up doing work with. There's just this idea that there's some kind of a sacrifice that you want to make, some kind of loyalty, you know, this involves loyalty. It involves, you know, and it involves something that has to be given up, and working with somebody else. You know, maybe you're giving up your sense of independence in something, I don't know, you know, to reach out and to work with somebody else. Or maybe it's saying you want to give up your current situation and reach out to somebody else who you consider to be a friend or compatriot or companion. But there's definitely a sense here of moving ahead by partnering with others, and something that you're going to give up that's going to lead to a greater reward. Okay, 11th house has to do, is your energy, Aquarius energy. And this has to do with your hopes and wishes and also your friendships and networks. Okay, and you've got the aloneness card. So this may be a time, and you've got it with Nephthys. So this may be a time, again, being that I'm seeing postponement down here, you may be at a point in time where you want to retreat. You don't necessarily want to be around people. You may want to just say, no, I want to retreat and reflect, because Nephthys has very much the same energy. Nephthys is about not being obvious, about stepping back. And I feel like you are at a position or point in time where you are looking to take a break from something and take time out to think about things, to reframe where you are spiritually, to reframe what it is that you want to do and where you want to go. And I feel like that would be a good idea here, to take some time to take time out and listen to your own voice. Because as we see in your first house here, not only can you rely on your judgment, but you have this Guru card here. So there's a lot to be learned from your own, there's a lot you can gain from your own inner voice, I guess is what I'm saying here. Okay. 12th house, this is Pisces energy, and this has to do with what you're afraid of, also what you hide from people, okay? And you have the Horus card, which indicates a need for healing. Sometimes this has to do with family drama or friendships, but I just feel more like this is just a card in this house of spiritual healing of some kind, the things that may be going on that level that are probably connected to this idea of letting go. But there's also this underlying fight that's going on. You're resisting something. You're actually resisting a change that's going on right now. And you're doing it unconsciously. It's time for you to stop fighting, really. And overall, you've got the Hathor card, okay? So again, this is very strong energy like the Empress in the Tarot. This is about building something, about accessing your feminine side, which completely makes sense with the two cards that came out, which are the Harmony card, which is the 10 of Cups, or 10 of water. And then you have this Receptivity card, which is the Queen of Cups. And yeah, this is definitely about getting in touch with your heart, about harmonizing with your intuition, with what you're feeling, with your feminine energy, okay? This is not about this masculine, aggressive fighting, okay? You are coming from a place where your own intuition, your own feelings, your own feminine side, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a feminine side, which is more about stepping back, being a little bit passive, allowing yourself to experience and be in something rather than being cerebral about it, rather than overthinking something, allowing yourself to listen to your guides and your inner voices, and recognizing that you are free. Okay, all of this is coming into play here, and I feel like there's other connections to be made, but there's also a timeout that's needed for you to figure things out and to get back in tune with your own receptivity. You may have been allowing other concerns or just habits or habitual relationships or maybe even toxic connections to be ruling your life. And this is telling you it's time to let go and just go deeply into your own intuition and your own inner voice, which is extremely accurate right now, and figure out what it is that, where it is you need to be going. That's it for me for this week. I hope this reading was helpful. Please let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you next week.